Entering King's Row.
Hey you guys, it's Sly, and I am playing Overwatch this time. Just a disclosure, just like last time, I am not playing and recording audio in real time. I played the game sometime last week, maybe on a Monday, maybe on a Tuesday, and I just had the media lying there. And I decided that I'll make some time. The basketball game's done with, Warriors won the third game. And might as well record a little bit some Overwatch. I don't really play Overwatch that much. I have the game on PC and I have it on a PS4, but I don't really play it that much. And it's mostly because, well, it's a fun game, but it's really hard for me to get into it. It's a good game. It really is a good game. It's just a little bit harder for me to get into it, but meh. I'm playing it again. I haven't played it in a while, and a lot of things have changed. McCree used to be my favorite character, but he got debuffed a long time ago. So now I'm using the dwarf character, which I do not know his name. I'll just call him Grimly for now, from Lord of the Rings, because he's a dwarf. Like I was saying, so E3 is just around the corner. I believe it starts next week. So this video and recording is made on June 7th. I believe today's the 7th. Let's see. Handy dandy computer. Yeah, today's the 7th. So this recording is on the 7th, and it'll probably go on the 7th or the 8th, whenever it is I post it up. But E3 is around the corner. It's literally next week. It starts off this weekend, actually. Bethesda is going to go up on Sunday, and before Bethesda, Microsoft's going to go, which is weird because Microsoft usually goes on Monday morning, and this is the first time they're going to be going on a weekend, and mostly because Bethesda stole their thunder in the last E3, and I believe the E3 before that, where they had their conference a day before Microsoft. And Microsoft is usually the first of the big three to have their conference. So I guess they want a little bit more of the spotlight on them. So they're doing that. And what do I expect from Microsoft? I expect the Scorpio. That's really what I expect, and I'm actually really looking forward to the new console. I have day one Xbox One, and well, it's not day one, but it's the first gen. I didn't wait in line to get the Xbox One like I did with the PS4, that piece of shit console that I hate. But I got the Xbox One, and I really like the console. Which more of my friends had it, and more of my friends played on Xbox Live as opposed to PS4. But it is what it is. I am really excited for the Scorpio, and when it comes out, I'll probably get it, but I'm just curious to see how the games really look like. I have a 4K television. That's what makes me really excited for it. So, I mean, we have to wait and see. I don't know how great this console is. It's really going to be more powerful than the PS4, so that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a console that is superior, but at the same time, I don't think we're going to notice much of the differences between both of them. If anything, the only differences would be that the PS4 and the Xbox One, the Xbox Scorpio, or whatever the hell it is, it's probably going to be Xbox something. But the Scorpio is probably going to come with, I was just going to say DVR support, no, virtual reality support, probably with the Oculus. And we all know that this Scorpio is going to be incredibly powerful. And it's probably going to cost a pretty penny. It's going to be expensive. It's not going to be cheap. Because this is for the gamers. This is not for your casual player that just wants to play a little bit of Overwatch. No, this is for your hardcore Microsoft fanboy that really wants this. Or just fan, not fanboy. I take that back. And that's not a good term, and it's not the politically correct term, but I want one. And the reason I want an Xbox One or just the Microsoft console as opposed to the PlayStation console, is that for any Xbox or Microsoft published games, I'll be able to buy them both on the PC and on the Xbox One, which is what I did with Resident Evil 7. I bought Resident Evil 7 on Xbox Live, and I got it for free on PC. So those recordings that I have up on YouTube, on the tubes that you guys have seen, those are from my PC. I haven't played the game at all on my Xbox. Why do I want a Scorpio when I have a PC that's probably just as capable, if not better, than the Scorpio? Not just for the sake of having one, but really, it's a new toy. But again, I want one. I'm gonna buy one, but that price is really gonna determine if I'm gonna buy it day one or if I'm gonna wait a little bit. And then the other problem with Microsoft is that there's not a lot of games. So going in their conference, Scorpio has to be the key. They have to start with Scorpio. They have to talk about Scorpio. The focus is gonna be Scorpio and the games that run on Scorpio. And then it's have to bring games. The problem with Xbox right now is that they really don't have a strong first-party lineup. At least PlayStation, Sony, they have a strong first-party lineup, if not like a second-party lineup. They're going to be getting The Last of Us. They're going to be getting God of War. They have Shenmue coming, Final Fantasy VII, the remake. But there is one thing in common with all those games that I just mentioned. They're not going to come out this year. Those are games that are going to be coming out within the next 3 to 4 or 5 years. So, that's the problem with Sony. But Microsoft, they really need to get their act together and just bring games. That's what they really need. And they're going to bring that pirate game, whatever the hell it is, from, I was going to say Activision, but it's not Activision. From Rare. Oh fuck! I forgot the name of the game. It's a pirate MMORPG game. Oh fuck! I forgot the name of the game. I apologize for that. But there's a lot of people that are looking forward to that game. And then they have other indie games that they've discussed before, like Cuphead. Cuphead is a game that looks like it's a 1960s animation. So it's very interesting. It's very stylized. But it's a game that's already come out in the past 3, I believe, E3s, if not just the past 2. And the game's not out yet. The game looks like it's finished, but it's not. Come on. It needs to come out. So, yeah, they need to bring more to the table. They really do. It's just, they need games. They really have the opposite problem that Nintendo has. They just don't have no first-party support right now. And granted, I like their first-party games. When Gears 3 came out, or Gears 4, I take that back. Gears 4. When Gears 4 came out, I loved it. I played the shit out of that game with my buddy. That game was really fun to play co-op. So I really love that game. When Halo 5 came out, I had a shitload of fun with that game. I was playing with 2 of my buddies, either co-op or we played online. So that game was incredibly fun as well. But you could see there that there's not a lot of games. So that's what we need. We need games. We need them to make broad strokes. We need them to just go out there and attack. Be it with third-party games, but more first-party games and more experiences catered to Scorpio. Things only that we could get on a Scorpio that we cannot get on a PlayStation Pro. And definitely not on a Switch. These are 2 consoles that are incredibly powerful, and Scorpio is just going to blow the Switch out of the water when it comes to graphics and just pure specs. It's going to be a console, a meaty console. So that's kind of what I want from Microsoft. Really, I can't think of the name of some of the games out of the top of my head, but I really want more games, and more first-party games, just things that would interest me. The reason I have 3 consoles is not so I could play third-party games on them. It's so I could play their first-party lineup. Because that's really what interests me when it comes to the Xbox One and when it comes to the Sony PlayStation. Their first-party titles. Or their second-party titles. Like The Last of Us and all that shit for Sony. Those games are very interesting, and that's why I bought those systems. Not so much for the third-party games, because I could play those games on a PC with way better graphics. So I really, in that respect, I'm really okay if I don't see a lot of third-party games, because I really don't play third-party games. I just play third-party lineups, and you might be saying, hey, Sly, you're missing out on a lot of games. Well, I probably am, but remember, I have a gaming PC, and I get my fill of video games on the gaming PC and my other consoles, so I feel that I'm in good shape. At least I get to play the games that I want to play. But yeah, I want to see more of that, more first-party games. I mean, Microsoft, that's pretty much gone to sleep on that respect. Then the second conference is usually on Tuesday, or I mean the same day as Microsoft, but in the evening, so it'll probably be on Monday. So I take that back, and that's Sony. What do I want from Sony? Well, you already know I hate the PS4. I just think it's a shitty console. Granted, I could be biased because I got a shitty PS4, a defect PS4, one that keeps ejecting my game every time I'm playing online, and that's just incredibly maddening when you're in the middle of a COD match and the disc is ejected and you can't play anymore. And then the only solution is to buy the game online, but I already have an analog copy of it. They don't give me a code so I could download the game digitally, so I could download the game digital for free. So, you know, I'm not gonna pay twice for that game. I already have it. So yeah, I could be biased because of that. You know what? That's probably it, because I do recognize that the PlayStation has incredible games. Maybe a little bit more boring. Maybe too realistic. But, you know, what Sony needs is they don't need to announce games. I mean, they need to announce games, but they're stuck in this middle ground where they've already announced pretty cool games that are not going to be seen until 4 years down the line. Kingdom Hearts 3, we still have 3 years for that game. It's still in development, and we're not going to see it for the next 3 years. That's already been not leaked out, but that's already been released to sites like IGN and so on, Kotaku and Polygon and all those other websites. So we already know that games like Kingdom Hearts, we're not going to see it for the next 3 years. Shenmue, they haven't even started development on that game. Final Fantasy VII, awesome premise, and I'm excited for the remake, and I pre-ordered it a long time ago. But we're not going to see that game for, at least 5 years. I mean, Final Fantasy 15 took 10, 12 years, a 12-year development cycle. So, yeah, Sony's stuck in that in-between where everything that it announced last E3, we're not going to see for a shit long time. So whatever they announce has to be a now kind of thing. You know, a few months to a year. Things we're going to see by the end of 2017 and the beginning of 2018. Yes, of course, we're going to see the CODs. Of course, we're going to see the FIFAs. And of course, we're going to see the Maddens. Those are yearly games that we get from, the Call of Duties. We have 3 different development teams working on Call of Duty year-round with a 2-year cycle. So every 2 years there's a new Call of Duty game, but it feels like it's every 1 year. So before, it used to be a 2-year, it's still a 2-year cycle, but but you only had 2 development teams. So that was a little bit tough, and the games were becoming a little bit. They were losing their touch. They were not as original. They what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck, I forgot. Yeah, sometimes I forgot the words I want to say. So now they have a 3-year development cycle with 3 different. A 2-year development cycle with 3 different developers. Saturated. There we go. The market just got oversaturated. That's really what happened with the CODs. And but yeah, we need games that are not those yearly games, that are not the Assassin's Creed. So that's like random. We're gonna get a new Assassin's Creed this year. They've been on hiatus for 2 years, and they did that on purpose, to give us a break from all the Assassin's Creed of the world. The last Assassin's Creed I played was Assassin's Creed 3, and I kind of gave up on the series after that because that game was pretty shitty. But I might give it another shot this year. The problem with me is that I'm not a kid anymore. I have a life, I have priorities, and sometimes I don't get a lot of time to play as many video games as I want to play or that I used to play before. I have other shit to do. Life is too short to spend it in a room playing video games the entire time, Go out, meet the world, travel, if you can, and if you can't, well, you know what? Your state is huge enough, and I'm sure you haven't explored the nooks and crannies out of it. So that's one of my recommendations. Play games, it's fun, but have a life. Go have fun, make friends if you're a social person, and if you're not a social person, if you're more to yourself, then that's okay too. That's not a problem. I'm not incredibly social. I hate being around big groups of people. I like being to myself. Sometimes I don't want to talk to anyone. Sometimes I don't want to see anyone. Hell, I get incredibly annoyed when I go to Costco. It's just too many people doing stupid things. So yeah, if you're antisocial, that's okay. I'm not gonna tell you that you have to change because that's how you are. And you're probably like me and just get tired when you're with a lot of people and you have to act a certain way or whatnot. But life is too short just to play video games. But yeah, Assassin's Creed is gonna come out, so I'll see if I buy that game or not. It all really depends if I have time for it. So that's really what I want from Sony. And Nintendo, Nintendo is in that situation where they just hit a home run out of the park. They came out with Zelda, they came out with Puyo Puyo, and they have Ultimate Street Fighter and all these other games that have come out recently. They just had a direct about Pokemon, and then we know that a Fire Emblem game is coming out on 2018, which is probably what they're going to be talking about. They're going to be talking about this Fire Emblem game. They're going to be talking about Mario. They might talk about Zelda or something, but I really hope they don't. I hope they don't mention Zelda at all, because we're getting Zelda fatigue. What they need to do is they need to show us, the people that bought into the Switch, that they have third-party support. Having first-party games from Nintendo is all fine and dandy. I'm not gonna neglect that. I mean, Nintendo makes pound for pound some of the best and the most fun first-party games out there. They might not have any story, but they're incredibly fun to play, and they make you feel like a kid again, which is most important when you're a 30-year-old that sometimes just wants to feel like a kid. They need to show us that they're actually trying to get video game developers to make games for them, because it's all fine and dandy to play first-party games, but if that's the only thing you have, then you're not bringing anything to the table. I mean, I'm not asking for games that are carbon copies of Xbox One and PlayStation 4. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking that they bring different kind of games to the Switch. I'm asking for fun games that are not Mario, fun games that are not Metroid. I don't want to see another Metroid game. I don't think Metroid is going to do anything for it. I think all the people that want a Metroid game are just bitching about it because they haven't played a Metroid game for a while, and it's not going to do anything for the system. It's not going to be a system seller. If Nintendo comes out with Metroid, they're not going to win over the people that are into Halo on the Xbox. They're not going to win over the people that are into all these other games on the PlayStation. Fuck, I don't even know a first-person shooter that makes any sense on the Sony PlayStation. But you're not going to get the Overwatch people to go buy Metroid, unless they were Metroid fans from the beginning. But to me, that's not a system seller. I wouldn't buy a Switch just to play Metroid. I bought a Switch to play Zelda. That was a system seller to me. Metroid, not so much, because I don't think it's a game that sells consoles. It just doesn't move consoles. I don't think so. So Nintendo has to get their act together and show us, hey, have third parties, be it RPG, Japanese RPGs, Western RPGs, just let us know that you're committing. And granted, they do have a lot of Japanese RPGs that are coming out, something Sphere, and then they have a Octo whatever from Squaresoft or Square Enix. There's talks about bringing Final Fantasy XIV both to the Microsoft Xbox One and to the Switch, which if they do break out a deal, that's going to make a lot of Microsoft Xbox One owners very happy, and it's going to make Nintendo fans very happy, specifically the ones that grew up playing Final Fantasy games and like Final Fantasy games. So I already have Final Fantasy XIV for the PC. I haven't played over a year. I have my reasons, but I think that's the best way to play the game. But if you don't have a good PC to play it, or if you just don't want to play on a PC, it's good to be able to play it on the console. And right now, the only console that has it, it's Sony, and that was really the only way you could play it, either Sony, or on a PC. So I'm happy to hear that it's coming back. They're giving another shot. Microsoft has a weird thing with online rights. What Squaresoft really wants is, hey, we need to update this game because it's a MMORPG. So when we find something or when we add content, we want to be able to update. If you give us that ability, we'll put the game in your system. And hopefully they do that, and when that game comes out, and if it does come out for those two systems, it has to be the one with the current DLC that's going to be coming out, or expansion. Which Heavenly Sword, I believe, or I forgot what the name of the, maybe Heavenly Sword was the second expansion that came out, which I have, so I forgot the name. But there's a new expansion coming out, so actually that had me a little bit excited. Am I gonna buy it? No, because I haven't even played like I said, I haven't played Final Fantasy XIV for over a year. So no, I'm not gonna buy the newest expansion. I might sometime later on the line, but we'll see. But that's really what I think they should bring. And you know what? We're gonna see more of The Last of Us from Sony. We're gonna see more from all those other games, Final Fantasy, God of War. They're probably gonna show us a little bit more gameplay about that. So we're definitely gonna see some old games from Sony. And you know what? For the Xbox One, I really don't know what we're gonna see. There's some games that I just can't quite remember their names. I mean, we're definitely gonna see a Forza 7. Definitely is gonna be out there. But I have the names on the tip of my tongue, but I just can't remember. And obviously, I didn't write a script for this, so I'm just being casual and talking to you guys naturally while I'm watching videos on my computer. Mostly the video of me playing Overwatch, so I have an idea what the hell is going on while I'm talking. But I guess I'll get back a little bit into Overwatch. This video is already going pretty long. So I played a few different characters. I played, like I said, the dwarf, or I'll call him Gimli for now, from Lord of the Rings. And I played him because he's really easy to use, and I believe he's a very good defensive player, and specifically if you're holding points. So all you have to do is you put the turret and you're good to go. You just have to make sure that you fix it. He's similar to the engineer from Team Fortress 1 and 2. So where you just create a turret, you put it there, and you protect it, of course, and you get a lot of easy kills that way. And I got the play of the game in one of the games. You guys probably saw that, and the people weren't too happy because it's not like it was an incredible play. There were probably people more deserving of play of the game, but it's been a while, but Overwatch still hasn't fixed that problem. I used Hanzo, but I believe I don't have that recording on here because I was playing with OBS a little bit. I was trying to get down the settings because it's a little bit laggy. I still can't figure it out. Downloaded the new OBS Studio and I just can't figure it out. It's laggy. It could just be that my PC is just too old now. I just can't take it, and I apologize if my voice goes from loud to soft, loud to soft. I'm moving around, so it's probably a problem, and I'll try to fix that next time. I did use McCree a little bit, but again, that's not in the video, and I believe that didn't go well for me either. I am using the Predator Dude. I call him Predator Dude because he has awesome dreadlocks. I forgot what his name is. But he's pretty cool. He's a healer, and usually what I like doing with him is I just like helping right here, I'm not in it for kills. I'm here to move my team fast to the point that we need to take, and I'm here to give them life, protect the tank. You know, these are the guys that are gonna get us there. So that's what I try to do as much as possible when I'm using this dude. But I don't know. I'm probably not that good with him either. So it is what it is. But I forgot that I could use the special, or I could use his other self moves where it kind of hypes up one of the other guys. But hey, it is what it is. So this video is going for 25 minutes now. So I'm probably going to end it right here. I'm not going to wait for the match to end. I can tell you what happens. We lose. We don't win. And I stay with this dude, Roadhog, I believe his name. I stay with him for a while. And eventually I get bored. I'm protecting him. I don't want him to die, but he does nothing. So we die. But I'll end it... I might end it right here in the 25-minute mark. So hopefully you guys got something out of it. I'm sorry for not remembering the name of those video games. I probably should have done a little bit more research, but I mean, that's what I want from E3. I live in LA. I probably should have gone, but hey, I have shit to do, man. You guys take it easy. Bye.
Yeah, let's pick it up. And the beat goes on.